up, guys? David here, 1, 2, and 2, and welcome back to Discussion Week for episode number 2. I bet you're wondering why I only own plain white tees. The secret is I recorded these 2 videos right next to each other. I might even record the next one. I'm undecided as of this instant. You guys will find out tomorrow if I'm wearing the same shirt. In an attempt not to make this video accidentally the same topic as the last one, I'm completely switching it up, and we are talking about Konami's propensity for making the ban list Guantanamo Bay. Ah, yes. It seems like whenever we ban a card in this game, it takes years and years and years and years for that card to come off the list in any real kind of capacity, and at that point, most of the time, the card is so irrelevant that it doesn't matter, or it was eroded to absolute death. Neither of those situations are particularly fun, because when we get a card off the ban list that's been on there for a while, I want it to be impactful and big and spectacular and be meta-defining, because what's the point of getting cool old school banned cards off the list if they freaking suck? That's so boring. Like Snatch Steal, when it came off the list, it freaking turned the whole format on its head and everyone was having a freaking hell of a time with the damn card, and then they banned it the next freaking format. That was kind of lame because I liked the card, especially because I was playing Nurse Burn at the time, and Snatch Steal has a uniquely trolly function in Nurse Burn. And I'm starting to think that maybe perhaps this system just isn't really necessarily the way we should be doing it, and I'd like to point to Snatch Steal again as an example of what we probably actually should be doing. They took Snatch Steal off the ban list. Turns out it was a big old problem. Well, some people thought it was a problem. I didn't, and that's why I think it was lame it was put back on the list. But if it is really truly a problem, they just banned it next format, and that was it. What's the problem with doing that? Why doesn't that happen more often? I can't remember a time in recent Yu-Gi-Oh history where that's ever happened, ever. And I think the next closest thing is, I don't know, maybe Joker? maybe Farmingdale Joker? He spent some time on the list, came off, and then went back on. But that was still a few formats. It wasn't like right after another. So that even took him a little while, and he's gonna probably be stuck on there for a while again. Yep, pretty much the ban list is just jail. Whenever you get stuck in there, even if you're on good behavior and you're completely irrelevant, you are stuck in there like Grand Mole was until you are so incredibly unrelevant that people even forget you exist. And I think that's stupid and dumb. And I want you guys down in the comments below to talk about what you guys think we should do with the ban list, but I'm going to give you what I think we should do with the ban list. With Pokemon and Magic, we have rotating card sets. How we would structure rotating card sets in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is completely up to Konami, it's their game, but what I would like to do is pretty much basically meaning that at any given time, there's some set number of cards on the ban list. Let's say 200 cards or whatever. And then every other card is either at, well no, every other card's at 3, let's say. We don't even have limits or semi-limits, it's either they're banned or not. And there's 200 cards that are banned, and then there's whatever 9,100 legal cards or whatever there is. Because that's how many cards are in this game. There's like over 9,000 cards in this game, and most of them are garbage, and that's stupid. So in order to kind of alleviate that, maybe we ban a bunch of them and then let a bunch of other banned cards run around for a format, and we can make a bunch of really weird decks actually good. And, you know, we play that for a few months, and then some of the cards that were problems or just newer cards just get rolled onto the list, other ones get rolled off, and we play with a new format. That would mean that all those tins I got sitting over there would actually have some use, because then some really random weird decks might end up actually becoming good. Also, it would be easier for Konami to print legacy support for these decks because, hey, we roll all Sky Strikers or Gokis or something onto the ban list. That means all these other really random decks are all of a sudden good for some reason. And we really could play with 4,000 cards and have 4,000 banned if we wanted. And then every single, you know, couple of months we get a couple roll on, a couple roll off, and our format is ever breathing. I think that would actually be pretty interesting. Obviously, the secondary market would hate that because it would be really hard to predict anything. So, you know, cards would probably not hold value very well. But for like the budget players and pretty much anyone who's not insane and would rather spend less money than more, would, you know, they'd probably be okay with that. And really the only problem with that whole thing is it really comes down to is whether or not Konami really wants to invest the resources in their R&D department to have that kind of rolling format, because that would require them to give a damn. And I think it's pretty much just Jerome. The more I watch their content they post on their channel, like it's always just Jerome, and he's like in an office I'm worried that like all of the TCG is just run by him and like a couple of dudes. Like, I mean, how many people do you really need to run a card game? Like, oh, well, Japan's pretty much printing all the cards for us. They're designing all the cards for us. We just localize them and come out with release dates. And then we get a TCG exclusive every once in a while, but we have probably, you know, years in advance in order to figure that one out. So we do it on the weekends when we're bored or we have nothing better to do. And I'll come up with Burning Abyss. Why not? I really hope that's not the case, but that would explain why our ban list is never explained and why it takes so long to do, and why some things seem so random or their communication's just so bad with the player base. Because it's only Jerome and a laptop. Well, let's hope that doomsday scenario isn't accurate, because ugh. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my idea for us having rotating set lists. I think it'd be really cool for the game. I think it'd be pretty healthy for the game. That way, cards can come on, cards can come off. We get to use some banned cards for a little while, have some hoorahs with them, and then they get put back on later, so that we're not just defining formats for years on end or never getting to use these cards ever. But both of those scenarios are just stupid. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And remember, guys, if you don't troll meta, who will? I will see you guys tomorrow for the next discussion day. Why?
Wait just a moment. I can see you were about to click the subscribe button. Was I right? Tell me I was right. I was right? My Millennium Eye lets me see everything, including these other videos by Davy Boy. Don't be a stranger. You will always be welcome in my Toon World.